talking about creating meaning through writing. But before the video, I have a question for everyone. Has anyone ever assisted primary age students in writing? If so, could you please stand up? Have you ever helped any first grade? Yeah. Well, that's a good amount of students, and I was just wondering, because that's what we're going to be talking about today, is usually helping everyone. You can sit back down. Thank you. So I'm going to play you a Pixar video that they show little kids before Disney movies, and we're going to pick out the author's purpose in this because this helps comprehension and helps students draw out the main idea of this video. We're not going to be able to watch all of it, so I'm just going to skip to the part that is necessary. What do you think the author's purpose was for this video? Why did they have this video for younger audiences? What do you think? Anybody have any ideas?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess there's two ways you can go. It's really fun and engaging and really funny. Other than that, though, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper, it's like a really fun way to be like, don't just, act out based on your first impulse about someone, because sometimes that could get you in trouble.
Yeah, they kind of go in a little bit about how you shouldn't make fun of others, and it has a little bit of karma in the end where all the feathers are lost from the birds and they're starting to get made fun of. I think that was a good lesson for younger audiences, and I like how Pixar incorporates that for every movie. So today we're going to be talking about the meaning, and we're going to be coming up with, we'll be able to help students create ideas for writing, and we'll be able to help students organize their thoughts. And first, for ideas, why should we promote students using their own ideas in writing? Why should we allow them to pick their ideas instead of, as teachers, us going to be hey, you're going to write about this topic today? Yeah, Maddie?
Because students get more passionate when they're writing about something they care about.
That is a very true statement. And Morrison and Wilcox said that students writing will improve as they discover ideas that are insightful and relevant unusual, surprising. We need to encourage students to express themselves in writing because that will allow them to be more excited and willing to work with us and learn. And today we're going to be talking about what ideas to use. We have to use some brainstorming methods in order to help them come up with ideas. And we have 3 techniques that will be helpful for students to get together. First is life maps. I don't know if you've ever seen this performed in a classroom before, but basically it's a timeline that students will draw out in a chronological order of their life, like big events. It could be good, bad, but something that made them get to the point today of why they think the way they do, what made them as a person. Also, we can talk about shared stories. And I've seen this in so many classrooms. I actually love this idea. We just watched it earlier in class, and Dr. Bose made us do a reflection about it, but the teacher will get around and she'll be like, okay, come here, all the first graders or second graders, they'll run around, sit in a circle. And as a teacher, we should be a role model and example, so we should be the first ones to say, hey, let me tell you about a story. Let me tell you something embarrassing or funny or something that I've been through, and I want everyone to follow along and share something about themselves as well. And the third point is writer's notebooks. This is excellent for English language learners. Excellent, because most people, like most ELLs, have trouble speaking, obviously, English. So they can write in their first or primary language in this notebook. And this notebook is designed for nothing with grading, grammar techniques, or anything. It just is for students to sit down and write their thoughts. It's kind of like a diary, just for in-class purposes. The next part we're going to talk about is organization. And Morrison and Wilcox say that organized writing presents ideas in a smooth, clear, and responsible way. The first, underneath organization, we're going to talk about the audience and forms of writing. So the audience is the students will need to know how to address a reader in every situation. Now, you want to definitely teach your students like how to talk to adults or how to talk to peers, because you can't have first graders talking to the principal of the school like they would with their peer in class. That would not be good, and it will reflect badly on the teacher and the parents. So you need to have them be able to address all types of audiences. Also, for the forms of writing, the students, how they will write their paper, is it informal, entertain, or to persuade? And back to audience. You would say you could have a lesson where you would sit down and you would have a book, and the title of the book, you can be like, we can change this title based on how you would approach it or talk to someone. If this book was about cowboys, how would you rename this title? And it's very interesting, the fact that it makes students think, and it's fun, and it makes them more willing to read a book. Also, pen pals. This is used in so many classrooms today. You can integrate it through geography and history, and just in so many different ways you get to know about multicultural events. And you can have the students write down their stories or thoughts to other pen pals. It could be like people from all the way across the world, or it could be in their neighborhood, just someone to sit down and write to. Forms of writings, students could sit down and they could tell stories or memoirs, which is like a list of memories that they have, which is kind of like a diary, or like class newspapers, events that have happened recently that they would like to share. And additional information is for teachers to know is to use online activities to help students brainstorm ideas, especially to incorporate technology in our classrooms today, which would be very helpful for students to know, because technology is only going to be progressing. Continually encourage expression within writing. Let them express themselves. It's going to be boring if they don't. Teach based off of your beliefs. If you, like the students will admire you for teaching off of what you believe in. So you have to be up here and be passionate about what you say. You have to be like, I love this book, or I love this subject. So the students will be like, oh, if she loves it, then I need to find something Like, there must be something to it. And make sure students understand their own writing profile. Like, each student writes differently, they come up with ideas differently. It could be in different stages of the writing process. It could be before they even sit down and start writing, or when they're revising everything and about to publish it. Just let them come up with ideas, because ideas don't happen at the very beginning. Sometimes they happen as we're writing. And a review. Can anyone tell me what we talked about in class today? Anyone? Jess?
Well, I think something that's not even up there that I thought was really important is like you said about ideas, like remembering that like every child's different, because I think like as teachers sometimes we'll like put kids be like, okay, today's gonna be your brainstorming day. Like some kids like might freeze, or they might not be able to get their ideas to flow. So
Yeah.
I think just like remembering that kids like do the writing process differently. So I guess giving them different like outlets to get their like ideas out.
Oh, that is great, and thank you for listening, even though it was on the board. That's awesome. And the 2 ways to create meaning through writing, through ideas and organization. Ideas can be exercised through life maps, shared stories, or writing notebooks. And organization can be set up through an audience and specific forms of writing. And here are the references, and we're going to play a quick game. Who would have thought, guys? Who would have thought? All right. That's how it makes it.
Like, that's why I was so confused. I was like, what is this?
It's better than what it normally is.
Alright, there's only 15 players. Is there any more? 16, yeah. Was there one more? 17? Alright, moving on. Which is one of the ways to create meaning through writing?
I like
Which is not an activity to promote ideas mentioned in the presentation. Way to go, class. Okay.
Shockbuster.
From the presentation, organization can be produced through which of these answers?
Wow. So,
From the presentation, a way audience can be taught to a class is through. Well, that was kind of tricky, but thank you so much for letting me get up here and